Hello, everybody. I've been waiting to say this. My name is Benjamin Bloom, and I have just witnessed Aston Villa 0, Sheffield United 0. Look, one big controversial moment in the first half. Second half really did fizzle out in quite the way, didn't it? I think it felt a bit like, being this is a game in hand, the last 30 minutes was a bit like, oh, we'll treat it like a friendly and, move on from there. But the intensity really dropping in the last 25 minutes in this one. I suspect both teams will be happy enough, given it's a game in hand and no one's going to take advantage of this draw, really, because it's Arsenal and Man City in the other game. I think both teams will be happy to get the game under the belt. They'll be one game ahead, essentially, of everybody else. They've got a clean sheet, they've got some fitness, they've got some experience of a behind closed doors game and the system, and they haven't lost. That said, Big Badger says in the comments, well, what an anticlimax that was. However, Sandra says, we was robbed. Matt says, robbed. Mo says, technology robbed us. And Philip says 2 points robbed from Sheffield United, and Matt there, Sheffield United won't be happy being robbed of a win. So I think you can see the word robbed appearing a lot there, all down to that first half goal. We're on a new format here. We're behind closed doors games. I would normally be at games, but what I've tried today is a stream before the game, a stream at halftime, and this is the big review. So if you want to see a detailed look at the first half, then please do check back on YouTube. I will, however, just go over what happened in the first half right now. The main bits and bobs, the headline team news, really. Villa going with Davis up front, McGinn returning for them, and Konza playing at right back were kind of the headline things there. For Sheffield United, Billy Sharp got the start. No Fleck, no O'Connell, the big misses for them. In the first half, a couple of, and I mean, this is the story of the game. Villa, I mean, we'll look at the stats in a bit, had attempts, but not much in terms of high quality, apart from that one Keenan Davis header. But on 4 minutes, Hurahan from the angle, half volleys at goal, and Henderson makes the save. On 10, I'm classing this as a big chance. I don't know what your data providers will say, but Grealish hangs the corner up, Hawes heads it across, and it was Davis at the back post. I think he over-engineers it, and if it hits him on the head, it drops down in the goal, I think, from that close in. But as I said in the previous video, maybe he doesn't win the header if he doesn't commit fully. El Ghazi goes down in the box, half-hearted penalty appeal. We had Hawes making a near post run from a corner and taking his eye off it. Then we had the big moment on 41, which is what everyone is going to be talking about from this game. It's a left wing free kick. Ollie Norwood takes it with the right foot, so he swings it in. He tries to hang it up, swing it into the far post. It's poor from Nyland, however you want to pronounce it, in the goal. He takes it over the line. He seems to lean back, fall on the net with the ball in his hands, and then push it against the post and kind of fudge it round. Honestly, it looked a lot like, what's his name? Neuer, when Lampard volleyed it against Germany. And, you kind of pull it over the line, hopefully, and hope no one notices it. And then it's like, oh, okay, they've not given the goal. And it seems from all the replays and from all the angles we've seen that Sheffield United denied a decent enough goal there. Will that change the goalkeeping sort of dynamic? I know they've got Rayner there on the bench. That was the story of the first half. Let's go over the second half properly. But as I said, the quality, the intensity, and the goal scoring chances really falling away in the second half. The game did fizzle out into this 0-0. El Ghazi had an effort on 47, following up Hurahan's free kick. The shot's on target, but man squarely behind it there. Stevens hits the side netting from a decent crossing position, needs to hang that one up. Decent sort of 15-20 minute cameo from Dean Henderson here in the second half. He kept up his good form that he's had all season, well, all career at Sheffield United, other than passing the ball to Pablo Hernandez one game for Leeds to score. But it's Target drops the ball in diagonal. Egan gets caught underneath it, backpedaling. Davis chests it down, moves to his left. He's got to hit this on the half volley on the swivel with the left foot. Henderson, what I really like is his position here. He doesn't commit too much to his near post. He leaves a hole knowing that Davis will probably aim for it. I think it's a better save than the commentators made out. And the hand comes out and pushes it round. I think the only way Davis is scoring here is he's either got to take the roof off and get a really good contact and smash it through, or if he can cut right back on that into the far corner. But I still think Henderson's angles are dead right, and he's probably going to save that one. So good goalkeeping from Henderson there. A little bit of danger from the set plays. Hurahan looking good from the corners, but no clear chances here. On 57, another good opening here. Grealish, absolute quality here. Deep midfield, drives, runs, cuts inside. Beautiful pass inside the fullback, or wing back, should I say? It was probably centre back, left centre back for Beans. It's the Chris Wilder team. Either way, he takes the defence out. Lovely pass. El Ghazi's in. He plays the right ball. He hits it across the box. Doesn't smash it across, but Davis just slides in. Can't quite get there. It's more Gascoigne against Germany in '96 than about 20 different Ian Rush goals I've seen him score, where he slides in like that and puts it in. Decent moment, really good opening, but just not quite together, the winger El Ghazi and the front man Davis there, missing the chance. 59, Grealish quality again. He's on the left-hand side, stands up the fullback, cuts this one back for McGinn. It's poor from Lundstrom, actually. Really overcommits himself, throws himself at it. This completely opens it up for McGinn here. He's on the edge of the box, quite similar to where Hurahan actually scored against West Brom in the playoff game I would have been at, I would say this time last year, but it was in May, wasn't it? And I forget we're in June now, aren't we? But McGinn doesn't have Hurahan's quality there on the finish. He kind of telegraphs it. I think he opens up his body, and Henderson knows he's going to that corner, throws himself to his left. Horst does get on the end of the corner again, but it kind of drifts wide from him. Again, it's all very well looking at XGs and attempts and things of that nature, but what I would say is 11 low-quality attempts on goal is, not really worth a lot, is it? You've got to create good chances and big chances. I think Chris Wilder will be happy in the main with the defending other, I guess, than Egan dropping under the ball for that Davis chance. Thought it's worth mentioning, just Jack Grealish, what a guy on 64. Step over inside his own box whilst being pressed by two Blaze defenders. Literally dribbles every time he gets the ball. Lovely to see, lovely stuff. This is where I think the intensity goes out of the game. I'm sure we've all been to pre-season friendlies, and the commentators completely lost it with the subs and everything. We had a drinks break, and we had two subs from either team going on, and that really is something the Premier League might need to look at, because from that point onwards on 67, when we had the double subs on each team and the drinks break, it really did go into pre-season friendly mode there, didn't it? Freeman comes in for Sander Berger, more attacking central midfield player, I guess. Maybe a bit more balance with his left foot as well. McGoldrick comes in for Sharp, so you get a bit more of a footballing forward rather than a straight finisher. Samatta comes on for Davis. He's going to play up top. Davis, not bad, actually, and he did give them some threat in behind as well. Trezeguet in for El Ghazi down the right. And honestly, guys, it was pretty poor from here. I'm sure you've all watched the game if you're watching this. Not a great last 20 minutes. Intensity completely lost. That said, straight after this substitution, there is a chance. It's poor from Courtney Hawes playing across his box from right to left. He's a right-sided centre-back. McBurney picks it up. He plays it inside to Lundstrom. I guess it must have been Mings in that position who blocks Lundstrom as he's going in. Correct me if I'm wrong. I'm sure someone is. And it just deflects wide. Probably best opening there for Blades all game there. McBurney wins the header right in the middle of the goal as well from the corner. If he can direct that sideways, I think it comes at him last second and he just gets something on it. It's straight at Nyland, whatever you want to call him, in the goal. I've written down in my notes on 75 minutes, both teams will take a draw here. And that did really seem to be the case. Maybe in a couple of games' time, that'll be different. Maybe if this isn't a game in hand and everybody else is playing. But yeah, not good for the last 25 minutes. Obviously, great for us to have our football back, but yeah, just tailed off a bit of a damp squib the last moments list. El Mohammadi comes in for Konza at fullback. Let me know in the comments if you think Konza is comfortable as a fullback. Maybe a right-sided centre back in a three. I'm not sure at fullback, but give him the benefit of the doubt there. Nakamba for McGinn in midfield. McGinn probably just running out of energy there. Mousse comes in for McBurney up top, but the game's gone after, as I say, after 67 minutes and the quadruple substitution there. All the intensity went out of it, didn't it? McGoldrick, I was worried. Obviously, I'm an Ipswich fan. I saw him get injured a million times for Ipswich. He landed heavily and held his left knee. Hopefully, McGoldrick is okay. And it all ends 0-0. Let me get some stats up just so we can kind of ascertain exactly how this one looked. 52-48 to Blades in the possession. 6 attempts on target for Villa, 1 for Sheffield United. However, low quality attempts for Villa, really. And the 1 attempt on target for Sheffield United did appear to cross the line. So that tells a story. 5 attempts off target for Villa and 1 for Sheffield United. The XG quite heavily in Villa's favour, 1.37 to 0.32 there. However, 1 high quality chance really for Villa with Davis's header. Otherwise, very much even, wasn't it? And I think the possession says that. 6 saves from Henderson. I think one really good one where he got his angles right. And obviously, I'm saying a good save. It comes down to fans never understanding goalkeepers and the fact that sometimes a goalkeeper can be doing better practice in his football by not making a good save than when he does. For example, Henderson here got his angles exactly right in the lead up to this, so he didn't have to make a sprawling save. So it was really good goalkeeping without being a great save. I was really impressed or not. Andy says there, let's just flash this up. Goal or not, only 5 shots, 1 on target for Sheffield United isn't top 5 standard. Fair comment from Andy. However, I think all the Blades fans will simply argue that they scored a legitimate goal and it got chalked off because the technology failed. So I'm sure that'll be their comeback there. Total passes 480 to 383 in Blades' favour. Completed passes 383 to 303 in Blades' favour. 12 corners to 4 in Villa's favour. Obviously, they're happy defending though, aren't they? Sheffield United. 11 fouls, 14, 1 yellow card apiece. What we're seeing, not much other than the obvious, big controversial moment. Not much in that game. Great to have the football back. But really, I think everyone will now be looking, what time are we? We're already started on Man City and Arsenal, haven't we? So everyone's going to be looking across there, hopefully, for a little bit more action. Just a quick plug for the football content awards. Please vote for me there. Let's have a quick look at some comments. KGFR says hit to the game. Agreed. Bazzy, what about the ball over the line? Shocking decision. I think everyone's agreed with that. I don't think we can blame the ref. I think the technology failed him there. Charlie asks, do you think Villa will survive on what I saw? Not on what I saw, but I think there's enough in the squad for them to do more than that. especially if they can get Grealish and McGinn dovetailing as well. Maybe they can. Can we really judge anything on today? I'm not sure we really can. Hip to the game says Guibert is our usual starting right back. Not sure why he wasn't involved. Mali on the Sky coverage made a decent job of it. Yeah, they did a really good job, and obviously they've learned lessons from the German affair and tried to get some kind of atmosphere in there. Speaking of Germany, Mike says, and I agree totally, it'll be like Germany, the games will get better after 3 or 4 games. He may well be right, and that will be very soon because we're playing all the time, aren't we? Oliver, who I believe is a Patreon subscriber, thank you for that. Oliver, you can subscribe on Patreon. I would urge you to do so. That would be wonderful. Great to be back. Even a boring 0-0 is better than no football. Feels like some kind of normality is returning. Big Badger says, to be fair, a point isn't much good for either of them. I would agree with that if everyone else was playing. I just think they'll see it as that they'll be settled in a game ahead of everybody else. That would be the caveat. But no, you need your 3 pointers, especially if you're in the bottom 3. Silas says West Ham fans must be annoyed with that. We'll have a look at the table indeed and see how that has affected things. Remember, Villa starting the day in the bottom 3, ending the day in the bottom 3. I'm sure when we check the league table, we will find that out. Remember, this was the fabled game in hand that seemed to cause so much trouble. So Sheffield United will go above Wolves into 6th position on 44 points. Remember, there is a big game between Sheffield United and Manchester United coming up. So that will be an absolute key game. United on the telly against Tottenham at the end of the week, indeed. And for Villa down at the bottom of the table, not much help at all, really. They haven't moved. They've closed up 1 point on Bournemouth and Watford and West Ham on 27. But a win today would have taken them out of the bottom 3. I suppose they'll be happier to be 1 more point ahead of Norwich below them. But does that really matter? You're either in the bottom 3 and you're relegated, or you are out of it, aren't you? Let's just check the last couple of comments. Loudon Jim says, did appear to cross the line. You usually tell it how it really is, Ben. Well, what more can I say? It did appear to cross the line. I think that's a factual statement. Until I see the Hawkeye picture, that will be conclusive evidence. But yes, I hope you don't think I'm sitting on the fence. I think I've made it clear in the last couple of broadcasts. They should have had a goal. Jeff says Villa have a terrible run in. I have not looked at the fixtures indeed. I wonder if we can get them up really nice and quickly to have a look at that. Aston Villa, Newcastle away, Wolves, Liverpool, Man United, Everton, Arsenal, West Ham, Villa on the last day of the season. I wonder whether that one might be an interesting one, if there's still something hanging up. West Ham fans were going for Europe at the start of the season. Why are they so bothered about Villa? There we go. Linesman must have seen the ball cross the line. Yeah, I've got sympathy for the linesman. They're all told to go with the technology. So he may have seen it. What can they do? You can't go eye over the technology. Bottom 2 plus West Ham, says Bazzi, to go down. Mark says Blades were robbed, a familiar theme here. Hips of the game says Brighton's running is worse. Interesting. VAR should have got involved. It's what it's there for. I don't think that's correct, Charlie. I think it's not in the VAR jurisdiction. I think VAR, if it's a goal, it'll check the goal. I don't think play stopped, did it? Because the alarm didn't go off. So it's a loophole in the technology there. Badger says Norwich, Villa and Brighton to go. Right. I'm going to bid everybody farewell. If you are still in the chat and you haven't gone on to your second game with Man City and Arsenal, thank you for watching. Please hit subscribe, ring the bell for notifications. Let me know what you thought of the new format. I will likely be back doing Norwich Southampton on Friday night and Brentford Fulham on Saturday. I don't really want to do full watch-alongs because I want to deliver good cogent analysis and make lots of notes and things of that nature. Quick request, if you can vote for me as it says on that ticker in the Football Content Awards, that'd be great. And also, I'm going to be 90% likely without a job in September. My job doesn't exist after September because of new government regulations in schools. I would love to make at least maybe a day a week, 2 days a week go of working on this full time. So on patreon.com/Benjamin Bloom, $5 a month, or you can just donate there. It would be wonderful. Follow the dream and try and do this as part of my living. I really enjoy it. Get a bit of our revenue from YouTube, and the Patreon will really help. So if you want to support me and the channel, please head to patreon.com/Benjamin Bloom. Right. Let's just say thank you to some guys. Thank you to Dave, who says top effort. Badger says night. He knows I'm off to go and hang with the missus and enjoy the rest of this lovely bottle of Chianti, although I don't want to enhance my reputation as a raging alcoholic. Mally says, see you fella. Leeds on Sunday. We'll all be watching. Into the game, as a Villa fan says, see you next season. And we'll let Seb have his say there. Villa have been robbed all season until today. So thank you everybody for watching. First game back, fizzled out a little bit, but the big story, Sheffield United seemingly, until I see the Hawkeye picture, denied a perfectly good goal when the Villa keeper carried the ball over his line. Thank you everybody for watching. Please let me know what you think of the new format of the triple stream before, middle and end. And I will see you all for a news update tomorrow, a championship preview on Friday, and then we'll do the same, if you guys like this, for Norwich versus Southampton on Friday night as well. Busy times. Football's back, God damn it. Let's all just rejoice. I'm going to go and hang with the missus. Thank you, everybody, for watching. See you soon.